especially when you start your business, when you chose to have that dream of, or the vision of having, did you have a picture of it, or the end of it? Or it just came when you realized when you were already doing it? Or you had the picture that I want to do this from the beginning?
You're asking me?
I think let's get the questions asked and both speakers asked. All of you, both of you. Like, because sometimes you find out, sometimes it's like it just came as a coincidence, per se, maybe. So I need to know, because for me it's I need to see something for me to be there.
Okay. What do you want?
I have a lot of things that I want. Like, for example, I want to venture into the real estate business, but not the way that you do, but buying and for renting.
Okay.
Then I use it to, and also farming, but at a home scale.
Where do you see yourself in the future? When you picture yourself now, not a student, how do you picture yourself?
As a person running a non-governmental organization to help others, to build others.
Okay.
That's where I want to be.
That's how now you've just answered your question. Because at the end of the day, the important thing is you've got to see what you're going. You've got to have a vision of where. I had a vision. I didn't know I was going to be in real estate. I didn't know that. But the only vision I had was I want to be successful. I want to be independent. I want to be self-employed. But I didn't know how. I didn't know what. I've just defined what I wanted. I want my children to go to private schools. I had that. I remember telling my friends the other day and said, when I just got married, we were living in Tanzania, foreign house. And my mom used to come there and say, oh, my daughter, I can just break this side for you. You know, she wanted to help me to make it bigger. And then, but the important thing, we were chatting as friends, and I said to my friends, you know what? When I buy a house, I want I want a house with 4 lounges, 5 bedrooms. I defined the property the way I wanted. And my friends looked at me and said, oh, I think you're dreaming too hard. The mistake is, you dream, when your dreams are small, you achieve them. When your dreams are too small, you achieve them. You don't go anywhere. So when I look at my friends, I realize their dreams were too small. And then when I first bought my house, it was a 5-bedroom. Yeah, it had 4 lounges. Wow. It had all what I wanted. And then I reminded them, I said, you remember the other day? I said, you remember. And another example, I said the other time, you know what? I said to my husband, you know what? One day when we change our house, I'm trying to make an example. It's not that I'm trying, when we change a house, I want to buy a house. When I walked, I didn't know where the house is and how, but I had a vision. That's what I'm trying to teach you. I want a house, when I walk through the garage, I can see the ocean.
Yeah, man.
I didn't know where the house is. Yeah. I didn't see it, but that's what I wanted in my picture. And I'm living in that kind of a house. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You must have a vision. You must know exactly what you want. I was watching this book, Secrets. I would like you to watch the DVD, Secrets. You know, this guy was just describing, it's a code, they've got a term, I forgot it now. You say it, you create it. Whatever you say, it happens the way it's supposed to happen. If you say yourself today, this is, and picture your life, and this guy was just showing how he was drawing everything he wanted, all his dreams. The kind of a property he wanted, the way his children used to go to universities. And then he was piling them in a box. And this day, the child was sitting in one of the boxes, and he asked his son, Dad, what is in this box? And he said, I don't remember, it's one of our things that I used to collect. And he said, Dad, can you open it? And Dad opened it. And when Dad opened it, the first thing he saw is the picture of the house he drew before he had a house. When he looked at the picture, it's exactly the same as he drew it, and he's now living in it. So whatever you want. When I went to university, I did not know, I didn't have money. My parents didn't have money to take me to university, but I knew I wanted to be at UCT. I knew that, but I did not have money. And I did not have to bother myself as to how I was going to get to UCT. But I was studying, knowing I'm going to UCT, that's where I'm going, and I'm going to get a senior degree and a junior degree and a senior degree. And my parents wanted me to be just a teacher so that I can help the siblings and then help them build them a better house. But it didn't happen that way, and then it ended up where I want. So it's very important. You claim it, you draw it, you visualize it, you get it. Okay? Did I answer you?
Yes.
I think one of the things that I heard from the late Miles Monroe, he says provision is always attracted to vision.
Yes.
So if you have a good vision, provisions anywhere across the globe will start utilizing themselves to come towards you.
Yes, exactly. That's what Citrus is saying.
So yeah, so I think that's exactly. And I think the other thing that I got from him, he talks about potential. He says the richest spot on this planet is the cemetery. And you ask yourself why? Because buried in the cemetery, people who died with their visions. They never cared to action whatever they thought. The best way to start is writing it down, to create it. Yes, saying it obviously gives testimony that it survives, but writing it down puts a physical structure to it, to its existence. Its definition that this is going to, I like how Xoliswa says that she defines her visions, her dream. I want to have this, in this, it actually goes to the right detail, the details of exactly what she wants. And she gets exactly that. So the basic thing is that if you dream, that's what they usually would say, if you dream big.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. I think Sylvie.
My question is, when you're opening a business, I don't know, which one is best? Would you rather own your own business and be the sole owner of the business? Or is it best to immediately form a partnership with somebody? Or is it best to maybe have investors in your business? Which one is?
Well, I think most of these things work. But I think one of the most important things that Mrs. Xoliswa said was that it's best to make mistakes on your own first. So you can own up of your own mistakes. And when you decide to partner, you're at least at a better level. Understanding and more in-depth knowledge in terms of what you're doing in business. But you must also remember that business is a living entity. And that you also complement yourself, your essence, your discipline, who you are, also complements the life that you're going to be established. I like how she puts herself into her business, that in a manner that even the people that she trains them to become her. And she respects her business. That's why there is things that you cannot allow to happen in your business. We don't do this thing. However money it involves, but we don't do this. Simply. That's it. And there's one other thing that I've learned from, I'm sure you know, we were discussing issues exactly of partnerships and the strategic involvement of other partners to your business and the investments and so on. And I never knew about this, but he says, look, Viwe, sometimes when you're talking business language, you must be able to clearly define the divorce laws or clause before you get into the marriage. Understand what would it take for us to divorce, to separate from this partnership in business. Because at times you get into a partnership unknowingly, with passion or with not with your mind but with your heart. But sooner you find that this is not working and you leave to pay the debts that are accumulated by the partnership. So it becomes a responsibility and the other partner goes on scot-free. So this is why I'm saying it's important to also understand that what does it involve when we say, let's get into this partnership? How do we get out of it first? Let me understand that part. How do we get out of it? When I want out of this partnership, what's going to be involved? I don't want to then leave this partnership with a huge debt that I'm supposed to pay for this, that, and all of the other things, and you are just out there on your own.
And another thing I would say, I always advise the young people like you, young. And you know, graduates, they come out of university, they're excited, they want to start business. That's what's happening in this life now. People want to start business. I've got a son at home who's jumping around wanting to start a business. I always teach young ones to say, you know what, when you finish university and you know what you want to do and where, how you want to, what kind of business you want, rather find a job there in that kind of environment so that you learn the tricks of the game. Like Ackermans was this old man. When in his book he says, before I opened a supermarket, I worked in a supermarket. I learned how to pack the shelves, how to sweep the floors. So before I became an estate agent, I worked for an estate agency. And I went to all the trainings. I've done everything. So that when you open your own business, you know exactly what you are doing. As much as you are going to make mistakes on your own, but at least you have that experience. Because the young people, you know, most, one would ask, why most black people, especially us, our businesses fail within a year. A successful business, the first year, you're just fumbling. You don't know what to do. You're making all those mistakes. The first 3 years, you might not even earn an income, you might earn a fraction of it, because what you're doing, you must build your business. So remember, in the first 3 years of your business, you plow it back. How did I do that as Xoliswa Tini? I bought properties in the first years on my own as investments, because there are those ups and downs of the business. So that when we're not selling houses, there's rentals that are coming in. There's money that's coming in. So that's what you need to do. The first year, you first get experience, work for a company, start your first business. When you first make your big money, don't think of buying a vehicle and trying to drive posh cars and buying, because those things, they eat up when the money doesn't come in the business. Build in your business. Buy investment. Invest your money in whatever form. The first 5 years, if you succeed in the first 5 years of your business and you're still going strong, you must know you're doing something right. Okay? Because at least to the 5th year, your business is starting to break even. You're not making money, you're breaking even. And then you start growing it. The minute you get 10 years in your business, then you say, now I'm fine. No, you're not fine, because remember, success is a journey. It's not a destination. You're still gonna meet those difficulties on the way. Then you must have cushions to say, when this comes, now the interest rates are coming up, the people are not buying, there's now we've got ESCOM, we've got those things. You must have reserves for your business. So those are the principles of the business. Okay.
Kanya?
No, they answered my question, because my question was about risk. My question was about getting the skill, because as we are doing honors in business management, we still need to find ourselves where do we belong in business, you know? And I've been raised in a farm, and I tried to run away from being a farm girl, and
that's lovely.
Somehow it found me again.
Yeah.
You know, I was getting to a stockfell, whatever, and I decided to sell chickens, and that happened. You know, it gave me some profit, and I was just saying, I think a week ago that Msauli was born, and now I haven't started yet. I'm still planning to start Msauli, you know, and you know how cheap our land is, you know, in the Bundus. You have Caesar, you know, and it came together. But now it was about risk. You know, I'm still learning, I still want to learn. But now do I go and get a profession in agriculture? That's a big question right now that I have in mind. You just said it, surround yourselves with the thinkers.
Yeah.
So I think my questions have been answered, you know, and you're just saying that I should get experience in what I'm interested in, or in what I want, and what I have visioned already. So yeah.
Let me tell you one thing. You're talking about your farm. You know, when I grew up, I grew up from Beggarsdorp. I don't know if anyone knows, but you'll pass it by. If you try to pass it, it's one of those small towns that will pass and say, oh, what's that Beggarsdorp? That's from Dusty Street. Okay. We used to go on holidays on farms. I mean, and then obviously my family friends, the parents were working on a farm as farmers, working there. So we'd go and go. And I used to love the farm life. And in my mind, I've been wanting to have a farm. I love animals. I love dogs. I love any kind of an animal. I love them. Then I said the other day, you know what, I want a farm. And I've been looking for a farm. I don't have experience in farming. I've never done farming. But an animal is an animal. All I know is that an animal eats grass, if it eats grass, and if you're a dog, you buy dog food, whatever, that's all I know. Then I bought myself a farm. Now, we will be launching my farm now, this weekend. It's going so successfully. I started with 7 pigs, I've got 180 pigs. Wow. I'm going to do a piggery. I've started with 7, it's 3.5 years anyway. I've started with 7 plus 6, with 7 plus 6 is 13. I started with 13 cattle, I've got 96 cattle. Oh my word. They're just breeding. They're just giving me babies. They're busy. So what I'm trying to say, I've been wanting a farm, but I never had experience of a farm. But you know what? I've got farmers around. The first thing I did on that farm when I got into, familiarize myself with farmers. I went to the next door farmer. I said, you know what, I'm new here. What are you farming? And he told me. I said, if I've got problems, do you mind to assist? When there's a problem on a farm, they come. That's what the farmers are good at. They'll all come and help. You see, so we're learning and going. So keep up. It is a nice lifestyle.
Yeah. Thank you.
Nangamso?
Well, I'm just in awe of you. Please excuse me, I'm fumbling around. I will not even know what to say to you. We are so grateful, Mr. Sorry, Dr. Willie, for having this Xoliswa here in Women's Month. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. To take the thunder away from you, sir.
Yeah, I'm suddenly coming.
So what I want to know is, I think you've touched on everything, basically. You're just so amazing. You've just touched on everything. And what I wanted to know, on the issue of new money, you know, when we get new money, we want to spend it, we want to travel, we want to look like successful people. The issue of cash flow in small businesses. I find that being exposed to a little bit of small businesses that are starting up, especially on the construction side, the issue that seems to be the main thing with them is the cash flow. How would you go about tackling that, the issue of cash flow?
One, do you know there's a saying that says we use the money we don't have to impress the people we hate.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a daggy thing, unfortunately.
Facebook.
You know what? We want to drive these posh cars because I mean we didn't have all the. But you guys should be feeling to that position because you didn't grow up in that era. You grew up in the era where at home at least all the opportunities were around you. You might not have all the luxuries, but the opportunities are around you, are available. But you find that cash flow, one you might, especially with construction, until like the farming. Farming means money, okay? And if you don't have money, you will not move on. So I don't know how people in that industry are doing, but I would say those are the industries where I think if I were to start that, I would start small. I always believe in starting small. Because the danger that people do, they rush for big projects. And then the securities are required. And they do not have all these securities and they get despondent. Like I'll tell you, I've got an academy. I train estate agents. I know I'm the only one in the Eastern Cape. No other one is doing that. I'm not rushing it in doing big. I say I'm only taking 10 learners at a time and let it grow from there. So the important thing is, even in any business, take small. Take a small chunk. But if you've got a financial backing, use it to your advantage. If you've got friends, these days you've got friends, I hear my daughter always talk about, you know what, when I'm a lawyer, I'm going to take another one who's going to be a conveyancer, and this is going to be what, and this. And then you club together. I mean, you study in the same environment, others specialize and stuff, and bring your strength together and try whatever. I don't know. But the important thing I want to point out, never allow money to stop you from wanting to do what you want. Never think of the money. When I tell the young entrepreneurs, I always say, when they come to me, the first thing they say, yo, Xoliswa, I've got this, but I don't have money. But I said, why do you start with money? tell me your vision. Start with it. Move with it. Do what you can do. I don't know how to answer you, but that's a challenge. But I always say it takes more. I was mentioning the state agency academy. I know I was told that, why didn't you go for that tender? You know what? They wanted to train 500 interns. Why don't you take that? I said, no, I don't want to take that. I don't want to. I'm happy with the small that I'm getting. Eventually, it will get there, and I'll do the right thing. I don't want to take 500. And the next thing I get shot and my name gets marked. That you didn't do it right, oh, you robbed them, you didn't do that. I better start and train more, like I'm looking for, what are these things? Facilitators. I'm a teacher. Facilitators, like I'm going to train facilitators, I'm going to train moderators, I'm going to train all those things. Once I have all that in place, I can take a number. You see, I'm not that kind of a person, so maybe I'm slow, but I've proved that. If you start slow, you have basic foundation. Your foundation is stronger. There's no way you crumble. Because the smaller you start, your overheads are smaller, your cash flow is enough, and then your business grows. You don't rush for that car. You rather have an income that's stable, that will sustain that car so that you don't lose it. Okay, my son once said to me, I wanted to send him to a private school, and the fees were so huge. And I said, I'd rather lose my car than not you going to school. He said, no, Mama, don't lose your car. You see, it worried me, because now he sees himself, identifying himself with this vehicle, and that's not it, you know? So that's very important to be cautious. Anyway, basically.
Okay. Last question, Brahmo.
Yeah, she answered my question, but I'll try to ask another.
I'm going to Grahamstown tomorrow to sleep early.
Researchers in South Africa, generally, they say most of the business they fail within a period of 5 years.
Yes, they do.
And I just want to ask if within that period, if you felt like this is too much, I want to quit. If you want to do it, which stage was it? First year, second year, third year, or 10th year?
Yeah.
Just one simple thing. Most people quit just about when their businesses are going to yield good results. That's the time that usually people quit. Just as you succeed, and that's where they just feel that I've been at this for a long time and I'm not seeing anything. But you've not been internalizing, you've not been looking at yourself as you grow. You've not been looking at how you are growing towards dealing with other aspects that have to do with your business. And when that time comes, you just say, I give up. And guess what? If you the worst thing could be that just at the time that you give up, somebody takes over. And they just run your business into a success, and you still sit there and say, I wish I hadn't, and you know.
Yeah, but another thing, you're right there, and perfectly. But another thing, if you're not passionate about what you're doing, you pick it up in the first day. It doesn't take you 5 years to realize you don't like what you're doing. And why? That's simple. Why business are not succeeding in the first 5 years? Simple. One's overheads, and people spend money not in business but in other things. The only thing that sustains the business, if you started it, is money. And then if you don't spend your money in the business, you spend it on buying furniture instead of investing in the business. You don't see it now. You don't see it in the first year. You don't see it in the second year. You like what you're doing, but each and every time you buy that million vehicle, and the installment is 30,000, and each and every time the income comes 60,000 and whatever, you pay 30,000 away. The business is starting up. You're still building it. There's still marketing. There's still all that. That the only thing that makes businesses fail is because people don't plow it back into their businesses. They do things which are not related to business, and then they spend their money and they lose interest. But if you don't like what you're doing, it doesn't take you 5 years to realize that. If it's about liking, I mean, the first year, I mean, when I started, I used to sell, I was a teacher then. I used to school at 2 o'clock, run and go to a farm and buy pork, packed pork, bags the pork, and probably buy 200 and sell them. You know, from 2 o'clock up to 4 o'clock, I'm giving it to teachers, selling them 20 rand the bag, 20 rand the pack, and go to my house and cook and blah, 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 and be a wife again. And then I've got more money than the teachers that I'm teaching with because I'm selling them now. I knew exactly that I'm passionate about dealing with people. And I like selling, I like talking, you know, all those things. Passion, you pick it up in it.
Okay, I've got the last series of questions and both of you must just answer one or two, no explanations, okay? Let's start with Mr. Msauli. Chocolate or vanilla?
Really?
And I'm talking about ice cream back. Chocolate.
You got my mind running to all sorts of things, but yeah, perhaps chocolate.
Chocolate. Miss Tini?
Definitely vanilla.
Mr. Msauli, R&B or jazz?
Or jazz.
R&B.
Mr. Msauli, unhlobo wenene or mdansane FM?
Obviously.
Really?
Miss Tini?
Okay, I don't even listen to that.
Okay.
I'll listen to it from now on.
Mr. Msauli, Sunday Times or Daily Dispatch?
Well, Sunday Times.
Sunday Times.
Sunday Times.
Sunday Times. Okay, here goes. My wife will kill me for this one. Umpokoto or umfin?
Well, none of the above.
Welcome.
And then finally, summer or winter?
Winter.
Winter.
I love summer.
Summer. Okay.
I'm a summer baby.
Okay, so this also shows you is that these are ordinary human beings. So vote of thanks. We'll start with Darlington and then Sivun.
Yeah.
On behalf of BC Honors Class 2015, we would like to thank, we never thank you enough, but this is the level that we go managing and be able to say we are very grateful for you to come and not to be one of the people who goes to the cemetery without being able to share their knowledge. And you were able to equip us with something to grow in the future and be able to impact generations to come. And thank you for impacting the generation.
Thank you, sir.
Ms. Tini, thank you very much for gracing us with your presence. And it's very nice that both genders were represented here today. And I think the ladies have a new experience. Your words, everything that you've just said, it's overwhelming. It's so nice. It's encouraging to each and everybody. So with this small token of appreciation, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, guys, I'll see you on Tuesday.